A lot of you guys have hit me up this afternoon asking about the latest with Pat McAfee and Aaron Rodgers. 24 hours after Aaron Rodgers was supposedly removed from the show, there he is earlier this afternoon talking to Pat McAfee about Bill Belichick. I guess when Patty said Aaron Rodgers is done for the season and I'm happy about it, I guess what he was really saying was Aaron Rodgers is done on Tuesday. He will now be appearing on Thursday. Maybe he's like a woman and you have to read between the lines to really understand what he's trying to say. But I am not wasting any more of my valuable time or your valuable time talking about Pat McAfee. This show has turned into an absolute circus. It's a complete disaster. I think they are struggling through an identity crisis. Pat McAfee is falling into the trap of trying to please everyone at the same time. He's trying to please his bosses at ESPN. He's trying to please his audience. He's trying to please his pretend friends like Aaron Rodgers. Me personally, I'm tired of hearing about it. I'm tired of talking about it, and I've become bored with it. There's only so many times that I can point out that Pat McAfee's not working at ESPN before I start feeling like a yenta. And speaking of yentas, let's turn our attention to our favorite yenta, the beauties of Botox, the big red bobblehead. They put the flat in flatulence, the purveyors of propaganda, the inventors of the toxic mouth fart. Of course, I am talking about the beautiful women on The View. Well, Casey, what about the Whoopy Cushion? You forgot about her. Yeah, she was there too. Matter of fact, the Whoopy Cushion, she once again finds herself as the topic of conversation on one of my videos. Did you guys know that The View falls under the news division at ABC News? Did you know that? Somehow this afternoon I stumbled upon that information. I couldn't believe it. I thought The View was considered to be a soap opera. You have 4 actresses playing their roles to perfection. You have the Whoopy Cushion doing what she does best, expelling hot gas. Sun Hostin plays the role of the radiant lawyer. Her primary objective is to bring sunlight and radiance to this studio audience full of lonely, depressed women. Alyssa Farah Griffin plays the role of the great pretender. She's the token conservative. She plays the part of a normal woman. She is supposed to be the panelist that normal women can relate to. Now, of course, normal women, they don't watch this garbage. All my single men out there who spend your weekends on Bumble looking for dates, one of the easiest ways to disqualify potential lunatics, ask them if they watch The View. That should be your first question. I think Bumble's the app where the women have to write the first message to the dudes to start the conversation. Now, in most cases, the go-to first message that most women send to men is something creative like, hi, or hello, or hey there. In one extreme case, the woman was so lazy that she just sent one of those waving emojis. But if you find yourself on the receiving end of a message like that from a beautiful woman on Bumble, your immediate response should be, do you watch The View? Or if you want to kind of ask them a trap question, ask them, who is your favorite yenta? If they emphatically respond with Joy Behar, that's your cue to run. Yesterday, Liz Cheney, better known to her close friends as the Lizard, she was the guest yenta on The View. Now, normally when someone is desperate enough to expose themselves to this garbage, they have a purpose for being there. Perhaps they're selling a book, or in the case of Jamel Hill, they are begging people to accept free copies of their book. Maybe they're promoting a movie, a new TV show. Very few people, though. Very few people agreed to appear on The View just to have a conversation with these doofuses. Initially, I had no idea why Liz Cheney appeared on the show. I had no idea why she was invited to appear on the show. Her political career is over. In terms of politics, Liz Cheney is useless. But it didn't take me long to figure out why the Lizard was invited by the Yentas. She was there for one reason and one reason only: to be on the receiving end of some embarrassing, pathetic groveling courtesy of the Whoopy Cushion. Before the show, producers powered up the air compressor. They filled the cushion with toxic gas. Not only did this result in the audience no longer having nose hairs, it also resulted in Whoopi Goldberg begging, pleading for Liz Cheney to run as a third-party candidate for president. Liz Cheney? The same Liz Cheney who couldn't win re-election in Wyoming, a state that most people forget exists. She couldn't pull 30% of the vote in one of the least populated states in the country, and the Whoopy Cushion wants her to run for president? All right, watch for yourself.
Would you ever consider being the conduit to that third party? Because I don't know if the Republican Party, as we knew it, will survive this. Because if he ever gets in again, we'll never have any more elections. There will be no more. He will stop it. And he's very clear about that. He wants to be dictator for life. Okay? So I wonder, would you ever consider, please, would you, please? Would you?
Look,
Please?
I think that...
I'm begging you. Look, I'm on one knee.
What did that audience of lonely women find so funny about that? Now, to be fair, I got to agree that it is comical that Whoopi Goldberg thinks Liz Cheney should be running for president. The same Liz Cheney who's not qualified to be the president of plungers at the WNBA dump. I found this embarrassing display to be pathetic for a couple of reasons. Number one, the Democrats are so desperate to beat Donald Trump, they are begging just about anybody to run against him. Screech, Urkel, Alf, the preferred candidate of the Star Trek virgin Mike Freeman. Doesn't matter who it is, as long as they have a pulse and meet the age requirement, they will beg them to run. Second, this really shows the lack of faith that the Democrats have in John Biden. This is the real reason they're worried about the Trumper. My inside sources tell me they recently conducted a poll that only featured Johnny B. Biden. There was only one question that was asked: will you vote for John Biden? Two answers offered were yes and yes. Somehow, John Biden still lost the vote. Right now, they are terrified of losing power and control. Johnny B. Biden, he is not supported by Hispanics. He's not supported by black people. He's lost support within his own party. And he damn sure ain't supported by normal people of all races. They are terrified that this upcoming election is going to be a disaster, which is why you have the Whoopy Cushion on The View begging Liz Cheney to run for president, begging her to run as a third-party candidate, pretending like she is going to support her. Also, Liz Cheney will split the vote so John Biden has a chance to win. When begging and pleading doesn't work, the Yentas, they resort to good old-fashioned propaganda. You heard a preview of the propaganda in that clip where the Whoopy Cushion claimed that Orange Man Bad wants to be dictator for life. Yeah, this is classic shit fuckery, accusing your political enemies of what your own party desires. Yesterday, the Whoopy Cushion increased the flatulence in a rancid diatribe aimed at Donald Trump. She created a fairy tale of myths of what America would look like under Trump's leadership. I guess she thinks we're stupid. I guess she thinks that we have amnesia. You know, since we already know what the country would look like under Donald Trump, we just lived through it 4 years ago. Watch for yourself.
Either you want it to work forward thinking, you want everybody to have the ability to say how they feel, what they want to move forward, or you don't. Or you want somebody who says, I'm going to be on day one, I'm going to be a dictator. Who says it to you, tells you, I'm going to put you people away. I'm going to take all the journalists, I'm going to take all the gay folks, I'm going to move you all around and disappear you.
All right, let me make sure I'm understanding this correctly. According to the Cushion, if Trump is elected president, our freedom of speech will be under attack. We will no longer be allowed to speak freely on social media. Now, correct me if I'm wrong here. Wasn't the John Biden administration accused of colluding with social media platforms to silence dissenting voices? Wasn't that story reported just a few months ago? I don't seem to remember Donald Trump having John Biden removed from social media. I remember Trump being banned. I remember Trump being kicked off of Twitter and Facebook, which should be considered a blessing because Facebook is nothing but trash. But I don't remember Trump using the power of the Justice Department to arrest his political enemies. But I do remember Donald Trump being arrested by his political enemies. Again, It's another case of shit fuckery. They are accusing Donald Trump of what they're doing themselves. The Whoopy Cushion also claimed that Donald Trump would take journalists in the G's and LGBT and make them disappear. How's he going to do that? Better yet, when did he say that he was going to do that? I kept waiting for ABC to show actual proof of Donald Trump making those claims. I mean, The View falls under the news division at ABC, right? I would think that means the women on The View are held to a standard of journalistic integrity. In the field of journalism, you can't make baseless claims like this without providing evidence. So, where is the proof? Where is the evidence? Obviously, the Whoopy Cushion can't provide any proof because this never happened. It doesn't exist. And where was Alyssa Farah Griffin here? Where was Alyssa Griffin when Whoopi Goldberg was releasing this toxic flatulence? I know she was there. I mean, the camera showed her at one point flashing that fake smile. Hey, it's me, AFG. Last I checked, AFG was assigned the role of the conservative. Her job as an actress on The View is to portray the views of normal people. Now, I didn't expect resistance from Big Red Joy Behar. I didn't expect Sun Hostin to interrupt the boodle breeze of Whoopi Goldberg. The script calls for them to enjoy the aroma. I can never remember the name of the blonde on the show. I think she's just an extra. Her role is to be completely useless. But Alyssa Farah Griffin, as the assigned conservative on The View, her job is to push back against these baseless claims, this propaganda, and let the viewers at home know that Whoopi Goldberg is full of shit. For some reason, she just sat there and said nothing. This show is a disgrace. Over the summer, last summer, I thought we could be nearing the beginning of the end of The View. There were rumors that ABC was thinking about canceling the show. Earlier this afternoon, I checked their most recent ratings. Last week, they averaged 2.5 million viewers. 2.5 million lonely women watch this show every morning with their cat. No wonder marriage rates have declined in this country. If I was single, I wouldn't want to date one of these lonely women who watch The View. You know, it would be one thing if The View was entertaining. I don't agree with the politics of John Oliver, but I watch John Oliver every Sunday night. He's entertaining. I don't always agree with Bill Maher, but I watch Bill Maher because he's entertaining. There is nothing entertaining about The View. I don't understand their success. How lonely do you have to be to subject yourself to watching bloviating yentas every morning? But give me your thoughts on this. Whoopi Goldberg begs Liz Cheney to run for third-party president. She then barfs propaganda all over the audience, claiming that Donald Trump wants to be a dictator and wants to eliminate journalists in the G's. Now, she doesn't provide a thimble of evidence to these claims. We're just expected to take her word for it. Fuck The View. Sound off in the comments below. Like, subscribe, share the video. I appreciate you guys and your continued support. Best way to contact me is by email at btlkc84@gmail.com, KC_BTL84 on Twitter. I'll see you guys tomorrow.